Hello, Year 4, it's Mr. Tamlin here, and welcome to our next history lesson where we're going to be learning about the vicious Vikings. Now, so far in history, we've explored the Anglo-Saxons. These were a mixture of tribes from Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands, and they settled in Britain from around 410 AD to 1066 AD, which we can see on our screens now on our timeline here. Today, though, we're going to explore another period of history of the Vikings. Now, the Viking Age in Europe was from around 700 AD to 1100 AD. During this period, many Vikings left their homelands in Scandinavia and travelled by longboats to other countries like Britain. When the people of Britain first saw the Viking longboats, they came down to the shores to welcome them. However, the Vikings fought the local people, stealing from churches and burning buildings to the ground. We're going to watch a short video now briefly explaining who are the Vikings and what did they do.
Excuse me? Yes, you. Would you like to learn about the Vikings? Great! Well, let's start at the beginning. The Vikings lived over 1,000 years ago, but they don't look that old to me. What's your secret? The Vikings were Norse people who came from an area called Scandinavia. You might know it better as Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. The word Viking means a pirate raid, which is a fitting name as they were fearsome warriors and often raided monasteries for treasure. But they weren't all bad, bloodthirsty and violent. They also settled with their families and farmed the land peacefully for many years. Oh, I'm sorry about this. They never wore horned helmets. Let's move on. Did you know they were great explorers too and travelled all over the world? Vikings explored as far away as North America. Can you believe they even travelled through Russia to trade in the Middle East? Amazing! Ah, the thing, an early version of today's parliament. The Norse people met to discuss new laws and solve arguments. They're arguing over who owns your shoes. Plus, we still use some of their Old Norse language today. Words like egg, muck, and dirt. Even some modern town names are based on Viking words. York, and places that end in thorp, by, or kirk. So, for example, the Viking word for deer is dura, and village is bu, together making Derby. There we go, the history of the Norse people in a matter of minutes. How enjoyable was that? Fantastic! Isn't history great? Ooh, you look like you need a bath.
Now that we've been introduced to the Vikings, let's start our activity for today, which is, what is your Viking name? Our aim today, Year 4, is to create your own Viking name and your own Viking birth certificate. So let's get started. Now, there's one thing that will never die, and that is the glory that comes with a good name. Every Viking wants their deeds to be remembered long after they are gone. So to create your own Viking name, follow these steps. If you have a parent or a family member free at the moment, Year 4, see if they can create their own Viking name with you. So you've got your own plus a family member's as well. Don't worry though if it's just you, because you can do this whole activity all by yourself. Now, the Vikings speak Old Norse, and in this language, the words for boy and girl are below. So you've got the boy here, and the word is svein, and the girl here is ma. Now, you've got a choice to make, Year 4. To discover your Viking name, you're either going to choose a Ma, which is a girl's Viking name, and to do this, you're just going to continue watching this video now. But if you would like to choose a Svein, which is a boy's Viking name, I would like you to skip part of this video. So continue watching now to make your own Viking girl's name, or look at the screen to see the number, and can you skip the video and drag it to those minutes there, because then we'll start choosing a boy's name. So make your decision now. Okay, let's get started on finding a Viking girl's name. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions and I would like you to answer them. Can you now get ready to write your answers on a piece of paper or the back of your book? So you might want to pause the video to find something to write with and something to write on now. Once you've got it, click play. Right, let's get started then. Question number 1's on our screens now. Which would you rather have? Now, there are 5 options on the board. You need to listen carefully to each of the options and then write down only one answer. So, which would you rather have? Option A, fancy clothes and precious jewellery. Precious means really, really important. Option B, a garden filled with sweet smelling herbs. Option C, a warm house with cosy rooms. Option D, a safe hiding place to store all of your secrets. And then option E, a fine sword with shining armor. Can you now, Year 4, choose one of those options and then write your letter down? You don't have to write the whole thing, just the letter A, B, C, D, or E. Let's move on to question 2 now. It's popped up onto our screen now. Out of these options, choose your favorite animal. A is a cat, B is a horse, C is a wolf, D is a snake, and E is an eagle. Out of those animals, can you choose one and write just the letter down, A, B, C, D, or E, now? Let's move on to question 3 now. Which statement best describes you? Is it A, when you look good, you feel good too? Option B, slow and steady wins the race? Option C, home is where the heart is? Option D, knowledge is power? Option E, the strong and silent type. Out of those options there, can you choose a letter and write down your answer now? Let's see question 4 now. It says, you've just learned an important secret. What would you do? A, tell all of your closest friends. Option B, be patient and think about it. Option C, ask your parents for advice. Option D, keep the secret forever. Or option E, forget about it. Who cares? Out of those options there, write down the letter, write it down now. And finally, our 5th question looks like this. An enemy has just insulted you. What would you do? Would you A, laugh and tell them to stop being silly? B, ignore them and they'll get bored? Option C, call for help and wait for backup to arrive? Option D, explain why they need to say sorry, or option E, challenge them to a fight. Final options there, write down one letter and then you're done. Okay, hopefully you've got 5 letters now. Most female Viking names can be split into these 5 types, so beauty, nature, family, wisdom, and strength. Now, if you're looking at your answers and you've got mostly A answers, so not all A's, but just like mostly or generally, you are beauty, so you're going to go to page 12 in a moment. If you've got mostly B answers, you are nature, so you're going to go to page 13. If you've got mostly C, you're family, which is on page 14. Mostly D answers, you are wisdom, which is page 15. And if you've got mostly E answers, go to page 16, because that is strength. Now, to find these pages, they're all on today's learning document. So under the video link here that we've watched, click on these help sheets. So there's beauty, there's nature, there's family, there's wisdom, there's strength. Let's look at one now. So I've just opened the beauty, which is the first one here. And if you've got mostly A answers, then you can choose from one of the following female Viking names. You've got 3 there, and your task is to write down the first Viking name and see if you can copy its meaning down as well. Pause the video now to copy your name and then click play to continue to the next part. Okay, hopefully you've got your first Viking girl name now. What we need to do next is create your surname, which is your second name. Now, the Vikings don't use modern surnames. Instead, they take the name of their father or their mother, followed by some letters. So you've got Dottir, which is a female, or son from male. Now, this is where it's handy. If you've been doing it with a parent, they might want to compare their name as well, because you need to use it. If you haven't been able to get a parent or a family member to do it as well, that's absolutely fine. You can either do it for them or just skip your surname, that's fine. So let's look at some examples. Now, Hild is a girl. She is Gudrun's daughter, so her parent did it and came out with the name of Gudrun. So her full name is Hild Gudrun, and because she's a girl, she's added on Dottir. So it's her name, her parent's name, and then the extra letters for female. Olaf is a boy, and his parent got Grim as their name. So his full name is Olaf Grim, and then he added on son because he is a male, he's a boy. So to create your surname, use your chosen parent's name followed by those extra letters there. Pause the video now to work out your surname, then click play to carry on. Now, the last thing we need to do, Year 4, is create your nickname. So, want to scare your enemies or amuse your friends? Then get a nickname. Here are a few examples from Viking Age Iceland. So, if you're a girl, you've got loads of different ones here. Or if you wanted a Vikings boy's name, here are lots of different ones there. There's lots of different options like Foul Fart, or the Troll Burster, or Twisted Pants, or All Men's Sister. Now, if there's any you like, copy them down, or you could invent your own, but to remember to write it down so you don't forget what it is. Pause the video now and create your nickname now. So Year 4, we've created a first name, we've created a surname possibly, and we've got a nickname. What we can do now is add all of those Viking names to the attached template of our certificate of birth. Now, to find this one, again, look on our today's learning document and down the bottom here, click here for your Viking birth certificate. Then you can add all your names, like your first name, what it means, your parents' name if you've been able to do that, work out your full name, genders, whether you're a boy or a girl, and then the last little bits you can make up, like year of birth, your nickname, your home, and things like that. So pause the video now to create your certificate of birth. Okay, congratulations Year 4, you have now got your own Viking girl's name. Now you've got two choices. You can either carry on watching the video where we're going to explain how to make a Viking boy's name, or you can pause it for there today because you are done. Well done Year 4, bye for now. Okay, hopefully you're watching this part of the video now because we are going to be finding out how to make your own Viking boy's name. So can you get ready now to write your answers on a piece of paper or a back of your book? Because I'm going to ask you some questions and you just need to write the letters to remember your answers. If you need to pause the video now to find that, do it now. And then once you're ready, click play. Okay, let's get started then. So, question number 1's on the board. Which would you rather have? Now, I'm going to give you 5 different options. You can only choose one of them, so listen carefully. Which would you rather have? Option A, a party with fun and games and tasty food. Option B, a horse that you can ride like the wind. Option C, a warm house with cozy rooms. Option D, a carved wooden throne in a great hall. Option E, a fine sword with shining armor. Now, out of those Year 4, choose one. You don't need to write the whole thing, just the letter A, B, C, D, or E. Remember though, write down your answers. So, out of those, which one would you rather have? Okay, I'm going to move on to question number 2. It's a new question with new options. Let's see it now. Out of these options, you need to choose your favorite animal. Option A, a bear. B, a wild boar. C, a wolf. Option D is a snake. And option E is an eagle. Out of those 5 animals there, can you write down the letter that is your favorite animal? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, let's go to question 3. Let's read it now. Which statement best describes you? Are you A, the life and soul of the party? Option B, slow and steady wins the race. Option C, home is where the heart is. Option E, a natural born leader. Or option E, the strong and silent type. Out of those 5 options there, which one do you think best describes you? Make a note of your letter A, B, C, D, or E now. Okay, question 4. It's on the screen now. You've just learned an important secret. What would you do? Would you A, tell your friends by accident? Option B, be patient and think about it. Option C, ask your parents for advice. Option D, only tell someone if it's useful. Or option E, forget about it. Who cares? So out of those 5 options, what would you do with an important secret? Make sure you remember to write down your answers. We're going to move on to our 5th and our final question now. It's about an enemy who has just insulted you. What would you do? A, get angry and insult them back. Option B, ignore them and they'll get bored. Option C, call for help and wait for backup to arrive. Option D, explain why they need to say sorry. Or option E, challenge them to a fight. So out of those 5 options, write down an answer now for what you would do if an enemy has just insulted you. Now, year 4, that's all 5 questions to find a Viking boy's name. Look at your answers now. Most male Viking names can be split into these 5 types. So you've got reputation, nature, family, status, or war. Now, looking at your answers, if you've got mostly A answers, that doesn't mean every answer has to be A, but just generally, if you've got mostly A, you can go to reputation, which is on page 23. If you've got mostly B answers, you're going to go to nature, which is on page 24. C answers is family, page 25. Mostly D answers, it's status, page 26. And finally, if you've got mostly E answers from our quiz, go to war, which is on page 27. Now, to find these pages, if you go back to today's learning document, under our video link here, you will see Viking boy names. So there they all are, Viking boy names, reputation, nature, family, status, and war. I've opened one already and I've just clicked on family here, and this was C answers. Now, you can choose from one of the following male Viking names for your own category. And once you've got one, write it down. So pause the video now to find out your own name, and then once you've done that, click play to carry on. Okay, our next step, year 4, is to create your surname, which is your second name. Now, the Vikings don't use modern surnames. Instead, they take the name of their father or their mother, followed by these letters, dotia if you're a female girl, or son if you're a boy, so male. Now, this is where it's handy if you've been able to do it with a family member and they have got their name, and that's what you're going to use. If you haven't been able to get a family member, you can just skip this part, okay, for now. So let's look at some examples. Now, Hild is the girl, and her parent came out with the name of Gudrun. So Hild is Gudrun's daughter, so her full name is her own name, Hild, her parents' name, Gudrun, and then because she's a girl, she's added on Dottir. So Hild, Gudrun's Dottir. Olaf is a boy, and his parent came up with Grim. So his full name is Olaf, then it's Grim, added the letters on son, because he's a boy. So to create your own surname, all you need to do is choose your parent's name and then add on the letters if you're a girl or a boy. Pause the video now to create your surname, and then once you're ready, click play to carry on. Okay, the final thing here for today is to choose or create your own nickname. So, want to scare your enemies or amuse your friends? Then get a nickname. Here are a few examples from Viking Age Iceland. So, here are some examples of girls, so females' nicknames, and here are some examples of males, like the Clumsy, the Trollburster, or Thin Hair. Now, see any you like, you can copy these down to create your own nickname, or you could even invent your own. Pause the video now and create your nickname now. So year 4, we've created a first name, we've created a surname possibly, and we've got a nickname. What we can do now is add all of those Viking names to the attached template of our certificate of birth. Now, to find this one, again, look on our today's learning document, and down the bottom here, click here for your Viking birth certificate. Then you can add all your names, like your first name, what it means, your parents' name if you've been able to do that, work out your full name, genders, whether you're a boy or a girl, and then the last little bits you can make up, like year of birth, your nickname, your home, and things like that. So pause the video now to create your certificate of birth. Congratulations, year 4, we've created our own Viking boy name. Well done, we're going to end our activity there. Remember, see if you can send any of your names to class teacher so we can see how you get on. Bye for now.